Chapter 2. The Mysterious Box. The morning began with the sound of an alarm clock. It was 7:12 a.m. Her shift started in 2 hours. Molly liked to set her alarm early, just to have time to lie in bed a little longer and not rush. As usual, she scrolled through social media, read the news, and watched funny videos, doing all the same morning things everyone does once they grab their phone. Those few lazy minutes passed faster than she expected, and it was time to get up. Reluctantly, Molly got out of bed, walked to the kitchen, pressed the worn-out on button on her kettle, and put on some quiet music. When the kettle boiled, she grabbed her favorite mint tea from the shelf, poured herself a cup, took one sip, and froze for a moment, staring out the window. Paris was waking up slowly. Gray pavement, a few sleepy passers-by, a candy wrapper rolling back and forth in the wind. Yeah, looks like it's going to be a cloudy day, she said to herself. Good thing I'm working with Nico today. Otherwise, it would be so boring alone. And with the coffee ma, she didn't finish the thought. Suddenly remembering yesterday's incident with the broken coffee machine. Oh my God, how am I going to work today? Why didn't I tell Louise yesterday? She whispered in panic. How could I forget to mention that? What am I supposed to do now? The cafe will lose money because of me. I need to pull myself together and call her. Molly started nervously searching for her phone around the apartment, which, as it turned out, was right in front of her, playing the very same music she was listening to. We all know that feeling. Mornings can be disorienting. Once, I even looked for my phone while holding it in my hand, but that's another story. Finally realizing her mistake, Molly grabbed the phone and quickly dialed Louise. The ringtone echoed. Once, twice, 3 times. Come on, pick up, Louise, it's important, she muttered under her breath. But the phone just kept ringing, testing her nerves. What am I supposed to do? Call a repair guy? But I don't even have the authority for that. Maybe I'll just press some buttons and hope for a miracle? Her anxious mind wouldn't stop spinning. She made herself a peanut butter sandwich, gulped down the rest of her tea, rushed into the bathroom to get ready. I'll figure something out at work, she thought while brushing her hair. I'll just improvise. Before leaving, she tied her scarf, fixed her hair, and tried to look as if everything was under control. The mirror, however, reflected someone tired and lost, but there was no time for makeup. Outside, the air smelled just like it did from her window, of a barely awake Paris, fresh pastries, and grayness. That same Merci wrapper was still being chased by the wind, as if the street cleaners had forgotten this little corner of the city. Molly adjusted her scarf and turned right, toward the little pastry shop on the corner. A thought crossed her mind. Maybe she could buy a few takeaway coffees for the first customers, while figuring out what to do with the broken machine. She walked in, greeted Madame Lucienne, the owner. Good morning. Could I please have 4 cappuccinos and 4 almond lattes to go? Madame Lucienne chuckled.
And you won't explode, dear?
Oh, if only they were all for me, Molly murmured with a tired smile. Lucienne shrugged and smiled kindly. Thank you, Molly sighed, took the drinks, and stepped back into the street. On her way to the cafe, her thoughts spiraled. Why did this happen? How could she forget? Why is she so irresponsible? It's that familiar loop we all fall into, blaming ourselves when things go wrong, as if that ever helps. Lost in her own thoughts, Molly reached Lunay faster than she realized. Everything looked the same as always. Cups neatly lined up, the broken coffee machine, the sugar jar with the cracked lid. She hung up her coat, tied her apron, and approached the coffee machine carefully, as if her slow steps could somehow fix it. She stared at it for a while, scanning every detail. It looked different. Something was off. And then she saw it, a fresh warranty sticker on the side panel. Am I losing my mind? She whispered. Where did this new machine come from? Has this sticker always been here and I just never noticed? She ran her fingers over the smooth, shiny surface. No scratches, no coffee stains. Brand new. Her thoughts were interrupted by an audio message from Louise.
Hey, Moll. I couldn't wait for you this morning. Had to run some errands. Check how the new coffee machine works during your shift with Nico. I'll replace it if anything's wrong. Funny story, I suddenly remembered an old gift card I had for Eurotechnic, that store across the street. When I saw our old machine finally gave up, I decided to use it. Lucky timing, right? Have a great day.
Molly replayed the message several times before she believed it. Everything was fine, without her stressing, fixing, solving. She wasn't used to that. She always carried the weight of responsibility alone. And yet, here was a problem that solved itself. A little miracle. Well, imagine that, she thought, smiling faintly. Looks like today might actually be a good day. With 10 minutes left before opening, Molly decided to test the new machine. After all, you should try the coffee yourself before serving it to others. Or at least, that's what someone, somewhere, must have said. She poured in fresh beans, pressed the button, and watched as the first drops of coffee filled a Lunay mug. Then she added milk with a perfect foam and took a sip. Lovely, maybe just a little more sugar, she murmured. And then her eyes landed on the 8 takeout coffees from Madame Lucienne. What am I going to do with all these? Before she could think, Nico appeared.
Good morning, hard worker. Testing the perks of being a barista, huh?
He teased, noticing her cup. You won't believe what happened yesterday and this morning, she said, and told him the whole story. The broken machine, her panic, the mysterious replacement, and the extra coffees.
Wow.
Nico grinned.
Well, lucky for us. Remember how Louise said we should come up with some kind of marketing thing? Let's post on Instagram. First 8 customers get free coffee.
Not bad, Molly smiled. But what if it gets cold?
We'll improvise,
He said, flipping the open sign. Molly arranged the fresh pastries on the counter, straightened the little name cards. Chaussons aux pommes, apple turnovers, brioche à la fleur d'oranger, orange blossom brioche. The café came alive. The first 8 visitors beamed when they heard, "Your coffee is on the house." Molly and Nico felt like morning heroes. After all, they'd just made 8 people a little happier. The rest of the day went on as usual. People came and went. Some changed their orders mid-sentence. One guy tried to pay with his gym membership card. A girl complained her almond milk latte was too almondy. By noon, Molly had made 42 cups of coffee, spilled one on herself, and rearranged the pastry display 7 times. Her hands moved automatically. But somewhere between those movements, a thought crossed her mind. This day could have started so much worse. And yet, it didn't. That thought alone gave her strength. And then he came in, a man in his 40s wearing a suit, a Bluetooth earpiece, and an attitude that said she'd personally delayed his flight.
I'm in a hurry. No foam. Make it quick. I'm late for a meeting. Got it?
Molly clenched her teeth, but Nico stepped in calmly.
I'll take care of it right away, sir.
He said, and handed him the coffee with a small strawberry macaron on top. The man's tone shifted instantly.
Oh, thank you. Have a nice day.
He left, and the irritation left with him.
Guess someone didn't have a great morning.
Nico chuckled. Molly exhaled, smiled at the next customer.
I'll go for a smoke. You good here?
He asked. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, she nodded. The cafe quieted down for a few minutes. Molly poured herself a glass of water, took a breath. 5 minutes later, Nico returned, holding a small cardboard box tied with a green ribbon. What's that? A gift from your fans? Molly teased.
No.
He smirked.
Looks like it's from your admirers.
Oh, stop it, she laughed, reaching for the box.
Wait, there's also a note.
Nico said, handing it to her.
It read, "For Molly, happiness lives in small things."
Her heart skipped a little. Curiosity flickered. She began to untie the green ribbon, eager to see what was inside. But at that very moment, the doorbell rang and a new line of customers appeared. And now, as always, a cozy little task for you, dear listener. Find a small box or a jar, something you love to look at, something that feels warm and personal. Call it your happiness box. Each time something good happens to you, a small coincidence, an act of kindness, a passing smile, write it down on a tiny note and place it inside. Don't rush to open it. Let those little joys quietly gather. And on the days that feel heavy, open the box. Read a few notes. And remember, good things often happen softly, but right on time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and on my Instagram. Link in description. More quiet, heartwarming stories are waiting for you. And maybe one of them will find you at the right moment.